Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are just catching me replay, I am getting on live to do readings basically every Tuesday night. The month of August though is special because we are doing 2 live nights a week. So this week I will be jumping on again Friday. So Friday this week, it might be every single week of August, but this week you should see me Friday. So if you didn't catch me tonight, I hope to see you then. And if you subscribe, it will send you a notification. If you have the bell icon turned on, it'll send you a notification that I'm going live, and then it'll also let you know when my videos are premiering. And I try to hang out in the chat room whenever my videos are premiering so you guys can ask me questions, and just we can all watch my new videos together. Hey, Lori. And let's see. I just remembered that I forgot to write down the time. For our members, I am going to talk about new member perks here in a second. Actually, why don't we talk about them now? So if you're new here or if you aren't a member yet, consider getting one of my memberships. You get different perks at different levels. And for those of you that are members, I kind of figured out some additional things that you guys are going to get that you won't see it in the actual membership description, because I would have to completely delete the membership and then you would lose it and you'd have to re-up it, and it's just a pain in the butt. So these are just kind of extra things, and I will also put it up in a text form in the community, so that you guys can see it if you forget. So our 99-cent members, if you are a 99-cent member, you guys are going to, and I mentioned this last week, but your guys' added perk is that you will get the opportunity to win a free reading from me every single night, live night. And so at some point in the night, I have a time code that I've written down, and whoever just happens to comment closest to it and is a member will get a free reading that night. So that's 99-cent members and up. If you are a higher membership level, you're going to get all the below perks too. Hey Danielle, hey guys, hey Taylor. And then my member live. So if you guys are the $5 members, the member only lives, if you guys are that tier, you guys are going to start to get monthly readings, like a monthly card pool. And it might be a video, a short video that I upload to the community page, or it might just be a picture and a written description, but it's going to be a monthly forecast. It could be about what's coming up or the rest of the month, or maybe it's just some specific energy, but you're going to see that in the community tab. And then our highest membership level, which is our member only videos, you guys once a month are going to be entered in to win a free 15-minute reading from me. So if you are at that level, you're going to also have the chance every month to win just a 15-minute. Those are pre-recorded readings. You send me your questions, and then I record myself as I do a reading, and then I email it to you. So that's actually one of the services that I do offer now. That's my lowest level reading. So Yurka. So my time code was 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and Yurka was the closest. So Yurka, you're a member, you get the free reading tonight, so don't let me forget. And I think that's it. So yeah, member onlys, you guys are going to get chosen to have a 15-minute emailed reading once a month. So, and I will again let you guys know instructions about that as in the community tab. So if you guys have any further questions on that. So yay! Memberships. Upcoming videos. We have this Friday, I'm going to be releasing a video on basic psychic protection. I've talked about this before, but I have a lot of little videos here and there, but I realize I don't have them all in one concise place. So that is going to be coming up this Friday. Yeah, I think, let's see, did I share all my announcements? I've had a lot of announcements lately. I've been doing a lot of things on the side, changing up a lot of things, trying to get you guys new perks. Again, August is going to be double live a week. September, we're going to go back to just one a week. But October, I've sort of been loosely planning out my videos. We're going to have every single week of October is going to be like spooky Halloween sort of themed videos. And all of my videos could technically be considered that, but I'm trying to theme them for the month of October. So I'm really excited for that. You're good. I know, so lucky. And we'll do that when we get to the individual readings too. Hey, Jordan. No worry, Myro. I will be on again Friday. So remember, August is 2 lives a week. And then the last thing, you guys, is some of you guys in the lives have requested me to have a review page that's outside of Facebook. Actually, a lot of people have asked me to do this. So I actually put it down in my description for this video. So those of you who have been asking, I finally got it set up, verified. So you can now review me on Google. Before it was just Facebook, and I totally understand people like not wanting to attach their personal profiles to those reviews because it's like visible to everyone. But Google reviews are now available. I'm just going to pop it into the chat. If you guys want to save it for later, I would appreciate your Google reviews because not everyone is on Facebook, and that's where I have all my reviews right now. And so hope to kind of migrate people over there. But thank you guys for pushing me to do that because I don't know why I didn't think about that to begin with. So yay. All right. So message for everyone tonight. I have been reading a lot of Rebecca Campbell's books lately. And the other night I went through this chapter called Soul Families, and I felt compelled to share it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give a brief outline of like what soul families are and her description. And then I've done a card pull, and this is the first time I think I'm ever doing this live. We're going to do like a pick a card reading for the group. And you guys let me know if you like that better. I wonder if it ends up being more specific than just like one reading for all of you guys. So basically, in her theory, soul families are basically just people you decide to come into this life with and meet. And you guys maybe have some sort of shared connection. It could be brief, it could be a lifetime. But the intention here is that you're coming in together to help each other with your soul missions. And take all of these terms with a grain of salt. I always worry that when people write books like this and they talk about soul contracts or soul missions, it just sounds so like final and official and as if like you can't change it or that you're bound to this. And if you don't do your contract, then you're going to get like all screwed up. You know what I mean? And so in theory, your soul family is here to help you with your soul mission. I would just interpret that as, you know, you have a purpose here in life. You might have several purposes, and you come into this life intentionally probably meeting a few people that are going to help you with that purpose, I guess, or those several purposes. So, and what she did was in her book, she broke down soul families into several different roles. Now, I'm not going to read the whole book to you guys because that would take forever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 of them. And I want you to just think about when I talk about this, each role, think about who in your life might fit this role. And if you haven't met anybody yet that sort of sounds like this, that's okay. And if you even want to, you can take out a piece of paper and just like take notes. So let's see, the first role that you might have of somebody coming into your life is they might come across as a teacher. That makes sense. So teacher is hugely important in our lives. They might literally be somebody who teaches, guides, or mentors us. They might be a wise friend. And it's someone who we learn through the experiences that you go through in your relationship with them. So this doesn't always have to be like an actual teacher. It could be like a friend or a romantic partner, but somebody who shows you something about yourself, your shadow side, how you can grow. So that might be a role that you might come across when you have relationships in your life. When I think of this, I think of my teacher, Karen Fox, that taught me all of this stuff. And I think, you know, that really changed the course of my life. And It's not, you know, a little teacher who taught me like little math problems. It was something that was big and significant that changed the course of like my life. And the next role that you might have, the second one, is a healer. Healers often act, they come in when you are at rock bottom or you're at some kind of threshold. And their purpose is sort of to help you walk through the threshold, help you transform. They're kind of like holding your hand when you're about to enter into a new scary stage of life. Might not even be scary, but let's see. They help you feel protected, safe, cared for, no matter what we've been through. And I can't, like, off the top of my head, think of like a healer, maybe my husband a little bit, but that's another role that you might see in somebody close to you in your life. Let's see. Catalyst. I love this one. So catalyst, this role comes into your life to shake things up. So they'll often appear or reappear when you're stuck in a bit of rut, hungry for change, or ready for new adventure. They also have a habit of appearing when we're perhaps going down a path that doesn't serve us and we need a wake-up call. So like, think of that one friend or somebody, it turns into something like, oh my gosh, I wish I wouldn't have done this. But a catalyst basically encourages you to see things in new ways and ask yourself new questions. Like, what do you really want? I kind of think of these people as like people that the universe sends you to basically ask, like, are you sure? Are you sure you want this? It seems like whenever we try to manifest something new, we get a little bit of the old because our guides are like, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure you want that? Because let me just tempt you with something you've been saying yes to for so long. Let's see. And then companion. Companion is a lifelong relationship, or at least a long-term one. When you meet someone who plays this role in your life, it's as if you see straight into each other's souls. This person makes you feel deeply loved. There's a deep recognition between you, and you likely both see each other as a rock. That would probably be like my husband to me. So that's a companion. Again, it could be a friend. It could be like a mother, a father. Soul growth friend is number 5. I'm almost done with these. Soul growth are a little bit different from companions. They are friends we connect with on our soul's growth. They are likely your spiritual partner in crime, and they might be on a similar soul growth trajectory to your own. And I think I've had several of these, but it's interesting because I feel like me personally, these people kind of fade off as soon as we, I don't know, go different ways, if that makes sense. And like their soul trajectory no longer aligns with mine. I feel like literally everyone I know fits into one of these categories. Absolutely. And I don't know why Spirit wants me to share it, but I think we'll get to it when we get to these cards. So I have 2 more. 6 is the challenger. So how is this different than the catalyst? Catalyst might contribute to our growth by stirring things up, calling us to a quest. They're someone who challenges us. But a challenger will trigger us. So if we pay attention to what's triggering us, then we have this opportunity for growth. And sometimes we don't listen to this. We just take the trigger and just kind of like ignore it. I would see this as like people that you have issues with in your life. Maybe even like those people that you can knowingly be like, they irk me so much because there's something in them that is so similar to me that I dislike about myself. So let me see if there's anything else about that. Ooh, yeah. And so the challengers may cause you to doubt and question yourself. And that's the big thing, is like they're kind of like throwing you off course. Whereas those catalyst people are just kind of like introducing something new, something exciting, something that might not be on our path. But this person almost is like causing you to go backward, doubt yourself, which is a little different. Then the last soul family role that you might see, this one is the way shower and map maker. They teach you by example. They're your guide. They pave the path for you. They may be somebody in your life who takes the road less traveled, breaks the mold. This is often hugely important because they offer you a blueprint for you to say yes to the call of your soul. I feel like so many of these I kind of blur with different people. Those are kind of like soul family roles. And my guides are telling me not to explain it much further than that because I spent so long with it. But I think for some of you, just even like framing your relationships with these might be helpful in some sort of way. So that's Letters to a Starseed, by the way. Now, what I'm going to have us do for the group reading, and I haven't read these cards, but I have pulled them, is I have 5 piles here in front of me, and I want you guys to use your intuitive abilities and press pause if you need to, and ask which pile is most for you. And the question here is, what do you need to know about your soul family? And so I have 2 cards per pile, 5 piles. So whatever one you're feeling most drawn to, you can throw it up in the comments if you want, or you can just kind of wait. And I figured I would do this, and then we'd end up seeing what our guides want us to know with our soul families. Almost all of these were in reversed. Okay. Five. Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat at all. Do you always have your guides helping you with your psychic abilities? Is there ever a time they're not? That's a good question, Jordan. I think they're mostly there. Sometimes I don't actively tune into them and call them in, but I know they're helping me because I've set the intention for so long that they will always be helping me. So I think they are, whether I see them or not. John, oh, thank you, Johnny. I did a cord cutting meditation this last weekend, so I wonder if that has shifted my energy at all. Does anybody read flames here? I desperately tried to look online for somebody who might read flame or candle readings. I couldn't find anybody. And so basically this cord cutting meditation, I did it with candles to just give it an extra oomph. And I filmed it, so I have this minute-long time lapse of this candle burning thing, and the candle did so many crazy things, you guys, and I'm like, somebody tell me what it means. And obviously I used my intuition and asked my guides what it meant in that moment, even though I'm not doing that. But I'm so curious to compare it to an outside opinion. So if anyone does that, let me know, because I will pay you to read my video. Let's see. Okay, let me catch back up. It's so easy to react to the triggers. My guides knows all the right buttons. But oh yeah. Okay. Hey, Karen. Scrying into candles. Yeah, sorta. Hi, Wise Soul. Hey guys, so we're doing a group reading right now. We're doing a pick a card reading. You can't really see it, but I'm gonna read it. So pick a card 1 through 5. This is a question. What do you need to know about your soul family? And I just kind of talked about soul families and the different roles that they might be within your life. Chloe Taylor did it once in one of her YouTube readings. Yeah, and I see her do those, but I was actually reading the wax too, and what little I do know, I know from Chloe. All right, so let's get to pile number 1 really quick. So pile number 1, I pulled these 2 cards. And forgive this little card. This is something I bought on ALI Express. Is it going to focus? Probably not. And I thought I was buying the right cards, but apparently I was buying cheap knockoffs. But I'm going to replace it. Anyway, so I told my guides, because I don't know tarot, this is just another tip. I told my guides to use the tarot cards to give me a feeling. And I'm curious how that's going to work out. So I told them, don't go off of the title, because I'm still trying to memorize it, but give me a feeling. And so this feeling that I have is, this is you guys. When it comes to your soul family, you might feel totally alone. You don't have a soul family at all. And you probably can't see, but there's like a little tree here, and he's like creeping up and like being all scary. And the fact that I pulled the encouragement card, this to me is saying like you have a soul family. Like you probably have a lot of people in your life that don't feel like that at all. Like you feel like I'm totally alone. There's no one in my circle that vibes higher than me, or even just feels like they're spiritual in any sense of the word. And this is your guides definitely encouraging you to seek out your soul families. And I shouldn't be using that term because I don't want you guys to get stuck to it. That's how like she describes it. I would say find your people in life that are supposed to help you create change. Show me the people that are supposed to, heal me, get me back on track, teach me new things is kind of the intention that you can set. So pile number 1, I feel like it's definitely that you totally feel alone in this. And your guides are encouraging you that you absolutely have those people in your life. Just to pay attention, be more aware of them. All right, so pile number 2, I got heal the ouch. And immediately what I'm getting with heal the ouch is there's been a lot of learning lessons. You probably have come across a lot of soul family members already, probably more of the bad ones, like the catalyst that she was talking about, maybe the challenger. And I think there's a lot of like energy around people in your life that's very like how you treat it is like, I'm going to keep them away. I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to not deal with it. But I'm hearing like shadow big time. Integrate with your shadow, like understand where the hurt is, what bothers you, what is it in them that brings out something bad in you? What is it that you need to heal? What do they do to trigger you? Because triggers are not really their fault. It's, something in ourselves that we need to examine. And so healing the ouch is really, your guides want you to heal some of the negative self-talk that you have around other people in your life and start to learn the lessons. I feel like you're pushing it away and you're not actually like integrating or learning the lessons. And because of that, you're not really seeing the better people in your life, the people that are here to help you, because you've been so thrown off by the ones that have gotten in your way. And let's see, the feelings card that I pulled with this one, it feels like this is such a cool deck. I wish it was a nicer one, an actual deck that was printed correctly. But it feels like this guy is like looking at his wands and they're all broken and he's like, what the hell? Great, now I have no wands. And I think that's the same energy of like, you guys look at all these things in front of you that are broken and you're like, I don't have anything. But really you need to look at it as, no, I do have things. I need to look at what was wrong, what's not working, where I'm hurt, so that you can throw the wands in the trash or fix them, or I don't know how to fix wands, but it's kind of this energy of like everything in front of you looks broken, it looks wrong, it looks like, it's all their fault, but it's really calling on you to reflect on the old lessons that you maybe haven't learned from all of those people in your life. All right. I come with the intention that flames have their own spirit and energy, especially when I work with them during magic. Maybe it was reacting to your intentions. Possibly. I did a really cool one. So I did, because normally I do cord cutting meditations, but I saw it online, and basically I had one candle for the other person, one candle for me, and then I tied a little piece of thread to each other. And so as the flame burnt down, it kind of like also burned the cord that attached us and like setting those intentions. But it was just very interesting how it all turned out, how one candle went up in flames like crazy more than the other one, and like the way that the string burned off, like, I don't know, it was interesting. But let's see, pile number 3, what do you need to know about your soul family? So if you're just jumping on, we're doing a pick a card reading, which I've never done. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. We might get more specific messages. So what do you need to know about your soul family? I almost feel like this is similar to the last one, rock bottom. No, I think what it is this is where you guys are at right now, especially with like connecting with this soul family, and what you need is that person to heal you. Or I'm being called to pick up this book. Which one was it that was like, I think it's the healer. Yeah. I think what this one is you guys are really kind of at a rock bottom in some sense of the word. Not like your whole life is falling apart. It could just be like one area of your life is just not going the best, and it could use some improvement. And so specifically what you need to ask for is that healer. And I'm just hearing even now that you can be your own healer. Don't ever think that like you have to find somebody else to help you. But this one is like that, it's specifically drawing you to that one role of the healer. Find the healer, ask your guides, show me this person who's going to help me cross this threshold, get out of the hole, really help me feel supported and loved to move forward in life. Oh, and I love this. So this is kind of the other card that I pulled to support it, and it's like this frog holding this like glowing ring. And I feel like this is your healer person, and they're bringing this energy to you of like positivity, or whatever it is that you need. It's like they're gonna have this golden perfect piece of advice or class or something. And one thing I didn't say about these soul families is they don't have to be literally people you've met. She made the point of like, this could be somebody you find online, or somebody you've never even met before that you really look up to. So yeah, pile number 3, definitely ask the universe to show you your healer. Pay attention to it. Maybe they're already there in your life. 4th pile. What do you need to know about your soul family? I'm immediately getting drawn to the little butterfly in this corner. Yeah, coming to life, transformation. You're going through this huge change. I feel like it's almost like a continuation of, or not a continuation, but this is like the next step of like, okay, I've gotten out of my rock bottom. You guys are in the next step of like, I feel like I've got things figured out. I know my path. I know where I'm headed. And I've had that help and that support, and now I'm moving forward. And so maybe this is a call to see who around you has been really helping you a lot, and ask yourself the question, who is in my soul family that helped me get through this most recently? Like, I feel like this is very recent energy, and I don't even know what this card is, but I just felt like I heard manifestation. Because I feel like you've just manifested, or you're like right here, you're setting the intention. This is like all the things I want to manifest and bring into my life. You're really entering in this new chapter, and because of it, or I should say, it's being helped by your soul family in some sort of way. So stopping and paying attention to how you got to where you are, and thinking about who's in my life that's helped me recently, and going through those roles, asking yourself if any of those people might be a part of your soul family. And I'm just hearing for you guys, it's purely just about identifying those people, maybe even thanking them, and asking what role you provide them. All right, pile number 5. What's your number on that card? On the 4th pile? The 4th pile is a number 3. 9, 10. It's 11. Just kidding. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. So if you're asking about pile number 4, it's an 11. Assuming you meant like the number up here. 3 sometimes. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I love how YouTube calls it a timeout for people. I can put people in timeout. All right. Last pile, group 5. Oh, third was 10, so 1. All right, pile number 5. Sorry, and I know this is a longer group reading. I just kind of went with it tonight. Solitude. So what do you need to know about your soul family? I think you guys are pulling away from your soul family right now, and I think at times that's totally okay. Your life is not completely dependent on these other people helping you, and so maybe you guys are in the stage right now of going inwards, not relying on other people, really trusting your own intuition instead of, asking for outer help. And that makes so much sense with this card. It says Weaver of Visions, and it's like this mermaid. I don't know what she's doing. Can't even tell if she's underwater, but she's just a mermaid, and it says Weaver of Visions. So when I hear visions and I see water and mermaids, I'm just thinking like Pisces, intuition, energy. And I think that's you guys right now. You're going inwards. You're focusing on your intuition, connecting with your gut feelings, and not necessarily relying on any of that soul family at the moment. And that's okay. And I think that's probably why your group needed to hear that, was so you don't feel guilty for not connecting with other people or getting that outside help. It's okay to sometimes go within and rely solely on yourself. And maybe I'm also hearing with you guys that you're in a transition period of letting go of some of that soul family that's temporary. And you are entering into a new time period where you're going to meet new people that might come in and help you. I feel like I'm in that pile as well, to be honest. Nice. Cool. Well, that was fun. Group reading. Done. I'm curious. I feel like the pick a card readings did take longer, but do you guys think they're more accurate than the group readings? I don't know. We'll have to see if we're going to keep doing those. Okay. My dog's barking. Individual readings. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, you can send me a donation through Venmo or Super Chat, and I will get a reading to you. If you donate it through Venmo, let me know, because sometimes I don't see it because I have to look at my phone. Otherwise, we'll do free readings, and I think Yurka was the one that commented closest to my time code for the member reading. So Yurka, feel free to throw up your question whenever. 5 was pretty accurate for me. That's interesting that a lot of you guys chose 5, but 4 still works. Alrighty. And I am totally feeling like magical energy tonight. A lot of mythical creatures coming in. So I got all my mythical decks out. And I'll see how long I can go tonight. Honestly, my throat hurts a ton here in Colorado. We are getting all of California's wildfire air. Like, you can't even see our mountains right now, which is crazy because our mountains are huge. It's so foggy. It's been like that the last couple days, and it's crazy how much it affects my voice. And I haven't done anything. Like, I do normal talking, and I just had a feeling my guys were telling me, like, just preface it with, you might not last long, because I even feel like starting now, my voice is a little raspy from all the smoke. It's been really bad over here. I know. I'm curious, those of you in California, if it's even worse over there, because it's coming from you guys. Basically, anybody east of California, which is a lot of us, might be getting it, but it's kind of scary. Kind of scary. Looking at the sun at night, and it's like bright red. Yay! California lady here. I'm gonna be in California in a month. I'm so excited. I'm going to Disneyland. Gotta take my son. Yes, I have an air purifier, but it's like, it probably only gets like the vicinity that it's in. I wish I had a second one for my downstairs, but LA is not smoky. Yeah, I've always wondered, Karen, if like, because you guys are closer to the ocean, does that just like clear it out more? Beautiful day here in Australia. Nice. Is that, yeah, Australia? I'm glad you can breathe, Johnny. All right. Thank you, Jordan. And I'll get Yurika's member live. I need to like give it a name, but she basically won it because I wrote down a time code and she was the one that commented closest to it. Yes, you are right. Okay. I didn't know. I mean, I guess it's south of LA that you guys have all the fires, but or southeast. I don't know. Ocean air clear, but well, that's good. Meanwhile, over here, we're just like. Alrighty, so I've been picking up integration and merging with different intentions lately. Wanted to ask how that's going. Jordan, they're immediately asking me to just rhetorical question. You don't have to answer this, but they want you. They want to know how you think it's going, because I think there's this certain element of like trusting your own opinions. So I pulled making a choice and peaks of joy. Is that with your intentions? That's what I heard. Yeah. So your intentions. I think it's going good, but I sense there's more work to be done. Okay. I feel like this card is about the intentions thing. It's like making a better choice with your intentions. I think it feels like sometimes like you might have a good intention, sometimes you might not. And it's not even that like you're setting bad intentions, like I want to hurt somebody or something like that. It's like an intention of, oh, I'm going to do this just because I need to get it done today. And sometimes that intention can just make you not as fully present. And so that's what it feels like, is like sometimes your energy is a little bit more there and then other times it's not. And I mean, that's totally like normal is what your guides are saying. Like, we're humans living a human experience. Sometimes we can't just 100% be there, like spiritually on all the time. It's got really bright, really fast. Okay. I shouldn't say that got bright. That got dark. That's how light works. All right. And then I also pulled Peaks of Joy in reverse, Jordan. And so that to me is saying that, like, literally whenever I see this card, I see this visual of like a roller coaster. And that's just like mirroring this other thing of like, sometimes you're connected, sometimes you're not. And I feel like this is like outward stuff that's happening in your life. Just like you're going about your day, you know, you have less energy. Honestly, Jordan, I feel like they're pulling me more towards like your physicalness. Like I feel like it's like your energy, like what you put in your body, like what are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you getting enough sleep? It's kind of like the energy of your body first, and then that affecting your spiritual, what are you calling them? Integrations and mergings. So I think it's just, yeah, physical outside stuff impacting like how much energy you can bring to the table. And obviously you can do as much as you can to try to be on top of that, but at the end of the day you can only do so much. It's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. Thank you, Jordan. Good morning, Lauryn. Good morning, Nicholas. It's nighttime here, but I left for a bit. I want to say I hope you and your family are safe. Thank you. We are. Just a little smoky here. Hey, Sarah, if you're just joining us, we do donations first, and then we do free readings. So I think I have Eureka to get to, and then we'll get into free readings. Or unless somebody else donates, basically. I'm sensing you're picking up your pup's energy. Is he inside or out? Oh yeah, he's outside, and this time of night it's like dinner time, and I'm usually the one to feed him. So my husband is having to take care of our son and our dog. Our dog is always just like, somebody feed me. I'm gonna die if nobody feeds me. Hey, Wendy. Okay, so Eureka is a member, and every single night that we do a live, I pick one random member to get a reading. So it was Eureka tonight. So please can I get a general message from my spirit guides what I need to know right now, please. I want to pull the mermaid deck. Okay, I feel like this is a progression. Right now, I mean, makes sense with that last reading. You're in your own little sanctuary. This like mermaid's in her bath. This is like I feel like this is like the self-care card. You're in solitude, privacy, personal space, respected boundaries and taboos. I think this is a call to your relationships or the things that you're giving your time and energy to, because I also pulled the air card in reverse. And this is like in the picture, it's like two mermaids breathing bubbles into each other's mouths. And this is like an equal exchange of energy. And I feel like there's something that's not getting that in your life. Maybe I feel like it's maybe even like work relationships or something. Or maybe it's just like work in general. But it's relationships that don't have an equal give and take. And I think what's about to happen is you're about to have this huge, this is called like wave of power. You're about to have this huge wave of energy. And I feel like this is motivation to fix this and to make this more equal and like demand a little bit more from this other thing in your life. Again, person or career or something. And it's like a little bit of a warning to know not to overgive, but also like confirmation that it's okay to ask this of other people or this position or something. Let me see if there's anything else. The boundaries are sticking out hugely. Like whatever's going on is a result of this, and you're doing really good of like setting your boundaries, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with. And this is almost coming in as like a test. And don't like push it to a point where you're over giving or asking less than what you deserve, because that's what you've been working so hard not to, or to get away from, if that makes sense. Woohoo. Okay, I think we're jumping back to, I'm thinking of a color. If you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, you get the reading. That's how we do kind of the free readings once we catch up on donations. Thank you, Sarah. Silly rabbit. I feel like that's what probably everyone says about Australia. I am, Brittany. I've resorted to Fiverr again, and I don't want to. I need to pay attention. Okay. Color. It's funny because sometimes I feel like you guys are guessing the color that I was originally going to do before I changed it. Orange, silly rabbit. Oh, you're so close. Silly rabbit, let me know if you have a question, and we'll keep doing those games after this. So after I read Silly Rabbit. Australia is a beautiful country. Johnny, I was there. I had a layover there for like an hour. I wish I could have like gone outside of the airport, but I didn't. The closest I've been to you is New Zealand, and that was beautiful. But don't Australians and New Zealanders like have beef with each other? Am I wrong? Johnny says, bring him inside. He's sick of the smoke. You know what, Johnny? I have been wondering that all day because he keeps wanting to go outside, and I'm just like, how can he stand this smoke? You're welcome, Erica. I'll text my husband and be like, go get him. Matt Silver. Too funny, Anne. Yeah, it was orange, so silly rabbit. What do my guides say about how I should handle my constant conflict with my parents? Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like the soul family stuff, maybe. Look into a little bit more of that. Try to frame it into why are they triggering this in me? Why is this happening? You know, frame it in, I chose my family for a reason. what were those reasons? What is that lesson that I'm supposed to learn? Much better. Okay. The Canadians and Americans have? I don't know. Am I unaware of that? I feel like it's more like Americans and Mexicans, but I guess it's probably dependent on where you live. I don't like those cards. I wasn't asking a question. Sometimes I just pull cards and don't ask questions. But I feel like Silly Rabbit, the biggest thing that was intuitively coming through was reframing it into, instead of being a victim, like, what are they doing to me? What is it doing for me? Not saying that, any sort of like abuse or just neglect or any of that is like okay. Like, obviously take care of you first. But sometimes reframing it can help us have a lot more loving energy towards it. I pulled energy field adjustment. So to me, that's just like constantly making sure that when you're done being around them, if you have to be around them, that you're resetting, you're letting go, you're cleaning them out of your aura, you're mentally and energetically letting them go so they can't affect you and your space. Because I feel like you care too much about what they think of you still. And because of that, you're still like holding on to like what they say. I did pull the Divine Sensuality card. I wonder if there's any like shame that they put on you for being a sexual person, or just, I don't know, even just feeling yourself and your confidence and your beauty. And so maybe starting there and seeing if there's anything there that you could heal or work through. But letting go is the first thing. Be adrift. Stop trying to like force things or figure out things. And I feel like that's actually what you might end up doing long term, because like I don't feel like you're going to fix them. It's more about taking care of yourself. And I just feel like this card is like, stop trying to force things to happen, if that makes sense. Allowing a higher force to take charge for some time. Oh, yes, Brittany, I am looking for an artist. I put it on my Instagram story, so it's probably gone by now. But yes, I am. I found like 2 people on Fiverr, but I don't know. I'm still like trying to figure out if they can even do. The thing about Fiverr is like you have to pay for it. You can't like be like, hey, can you send me examples? Which I don't like expect, but sometimes you'll get it back and you'll be like, all right, well, I'm not going to use that at all. Which just happens so often with these tarot cards. I just want to get them done. I've been working on these tarot cards since 2017, you guys. Oh, but I'm so surprised no one else has come up with this tarot card idea. And it's not a tarot card deck, and it's not even an oracle card deck. But I keep telling the universe to reserve it for me. Let me hold on to the idea. I'm going to make it. I'm just trying to do the artwork for it. I am going to do a video on how I created my own deck when I'm done with it. So do I ignore them? Yes, like that's the energy that I was getting. Not even ignore them as much as like don't try to push or force anything. It's like the letting go. It's just like letting go and only worrying about yourself and your energy. Check out Gloria. And the people that I have found are awesome, but they'll charge like so much. Thank you, Mo. All right. Mo. I usually ask for guidance when I'm going through challenging times, but I'm in a better place right now. Any guidance from Spirit for me? That's so funny. I feel like that's a lot of times people usually only come to a psychic when they're like really having a tough time. But there's so many fun things you can explore with your guides and ask questions about when you're not like stressed out about some huge thing in your life. So I'm feeling drawn to this deck for you. much is 10 Canadian dollars? It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit more than, it's not the equivalent to 10 US dollars. Mm-hmm. Okay, you totally know this guide is coming through so clear. I feel like he's talking to me through these cards. Hang on. So this little guide over here, I can't remember what they're called. They're like the little red pandas. I know it's like, isn't it the Firefox mascot symbol logo? What are those called? They're like little red pandas. Also the fairy. The fairy's like, I'm definitely your guide. I think that's all that card was introducing you to. And I'm asking what this guide is here for, and this guide is like, he's like your comfort animal, like the equivalent of, you know, if you had a service animal. I keep seeing him, and he's like curling up in your lap, and he's like, I'm here to make you feel comfy and cozy and make you feel like you're at home. And I feel like that's kind of like the zone that you're in. And he has such quiet energy that I don't think you would notice him. They're just showing me a lot of images, sorry, and I'm trying to put them all together with these cards. But it feels like this little panda dude has a lot of things he wants to share with you, because this card is talking about like new experiences, new people, new places, and I feel like this is where he wants to lead you. He wants to take you to these new places, like while you can hear him. And then this is like something else. This is the big card that I'm getting with you, Mo, is redemption. Like redemption is on its way. So something that you've always been feeling like you've been wanting and working towards, it's coming. It's coming soon. It still might be a couple months out. I'm being drawn towards like money and just like more stability in life. Maybe it's even like you want your own apartment or something like that. Like this is coming through for you. Hold faith. And I feel like you're in a more comfortable position right now. You have a lot of fairy guides, though. Lots of, like, woodland guides. I feel like they're guides that I'm not even, like, aware of. Like, I don't have the names for them. So if you're, like, drawn to that, like, all of these cards have, like, these big magical trees with, like, faces in the trees. And fairies in the trees. Like, that energy, I'm just so being drawn towards. And I feel like this, like, panda dude is the leader of this pack. I feel like he might even be bigger. Like he might take on an energy that's even bigger than this. Sorry, I'm not looking at the comments. Red pandas? Yeah, what are those called? They're like the little panda guys. And I think what a lot of this has been, Mo, this has just been a lot of emotional challenges for you. Because this is like, this little guy is trying to get past this dragon and enter into this gate. And that's what I feel like is coming. This like what you're trying to manifest, what's going to be redeemed for you, the things that you've been working hard for. And you've had a lot of like upset, a lot of things get in your way, a lot of self-doubt I'm hearing. And you're getting through this. And this is where you've been. Like, I feel like the worst of it is over, but to be fully where you at, it might still take a little bit of time. And that's what this card is stop focusing too much on the details, the minute details of anything. Pull back, focus on the big picture. Ask your guides to help you manifest what the end goal is, but release the attachment to the smaller details of like how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. It's just so hard for to tune out them empath problems. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I've been thinking about doing something like that. You're welcome, silly rabbit. Those teddy bear looking animals from Star Wars. Ewoks. Not crazy. Oh, okay. Thank you, Brittany. I'll definitely check her out. I wrote her down. I'll let her know that I got a referral from you. I don't understand the emojis. All right. I think that we're caught up again on donations. So let's do another reading. I'm thinking of, I just feel like I always do colors, but it's the easiest. I'm thinking of another color. If you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, then you'll get the next reading. And if anybody that's already guessed and they guess it, I'll make them pass it off to somebody. Unless they donated, that's different. Did somebody get it? Rue, you got it. Green. And just so you guys know, if you missed the beginning, Rue, let me know what question you have. But I will be going live again this Friday. So Friday, I shall be back. Rainbow. I think somebody, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, was like, all the colors. Woohoo! I feel like Yurka, you always get it like next. Never first, but like second. I've been really feeling my owl lately with my intuition. And I've also, ever since I made the psychic sanctuary meditation for you all, I've been trying to like kind of start fresh with my psychic sanctuary. I feel like when you stop connecting as well to it, it's okay for you to go in and ask for something new. And I wish I would have said that in the video. But that's basically what I've done. And I've really been working with my deer guide a lot. And if you guys watched, I basically found out that she was another guide that already exists that has a name, and her name is Ellen of the Ways. And so I've been working, but she told me to call, and she's telling me now, she told me to call her Aline. She's like, that's how you say it. I was like, okay. And she's been like helping me form my psychic sanctuary every night. We kind of like add to it. And it's like somewhere in like Britain or Ireland, or she told me Scotland, but very, very cool. It was Laura. I was wondering if it was Laura. Laura was so adamant when she was in here. Do my ancestors like their altar? Immediately I saw like grandma energy of some type, or like motherly energy. Just a woman who's just like, she put her hand over her chest and she had like tears in her eyes, like, you did that for me? Oh, so she likes it. They're saying if you want to add anything to it, add things you've already manifested. Because sometimes when we make like altars, like this is sort of going down the line of vision boards, and you know, when we put up vision boards, we put, oh, this is what I want. And then sometimes we don't put up the things that we've already manifested. So then we remind ourselves, oh, I'm great. And I'm looking up here because my vision board is directly above me. But sometimes all we have is just like the things that we want. But when we mix it with like things that we are grateful for that we already have, it's like it furthers the attitude of abundance. And so it's almost like the same energy, Rue, of like put something on there that's for you. Like I feel like your altar is very much like for everyone else, but put things on it that make you happy. And it might not have any spiritual sense. Like they're showing me like a Barbie. Like if Barbies really resonate with you and remind you of your childhood, and that relates to like your intuitive work, put a Barbie up there. Anything. I'll pull one more card for you. Is there anything else? But I mean, the fact that they're like focused on you, I'm sure that they love it as is, and they just want it to resonate more with you. So I pulled the transformation card, and I'm hearing to put something on your altar that represents transformation to you. Maybe this is something in your past. Yeah, I think it's something in your past. Like, think of a moment where you really transformed, where you shifted your life in a completely different positive way. If there's something you could put on there that symbolizes that, it's going to invite in more transformation when you do want it. So if you're like, I'm ready for a new house, or I'm ready for this, you can be reminded of how you did do that 180, or you were able to come from nothing and grow into having something bigger. But I just feel like the mantra transformation in some sort of way, and it could even be that you just write it on a piece of paper and put it in your altar. But just the idea of transformation, they want you to like sit with that. Polly Pockets all the way. Nice. I've been putting like wine and water. That's so cute. That's awesome. I want to see your altar. All right, you guys. Okay. Another free reading. Let's do oh, that's too easy. Oh, let's do that. Give me an easy one. I'm thinking of a mythical creature. If you can think of the creature that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. I thought that noise was your dog growling. What noise did I make? It's hot pink for divine feminine. Need some whiskey. Nice. Sasquatch. Oh, I have a funny story about a Sasquatch. I'm going to tell you guys after this. I wonder if somebody will guess this. I'll give you a hint. This mythical creature is in, I was about to say Peter Pan. It's not in Peter Pan. It was in Harry Potter. Nobody's gotten it yet. Good guesses, though. My daughter's name is Aline. What, Sarah? I feel like Sarah's like a couple minutes behind. Sarah, I don't think you're watching live. Hippogriff. No, you're getting closer. Sending the image out. When you guys hear it, you're going to be like, ah, damn it. The snitch. Butt beak. It's half human. I guess elves, or is he an elf? Is a centaur. Rue, you got it. But Rue, since you already guessed a reading, I'm gonna have you pick it. Oh, look at you guys almost got it. That horse. It was the half human part. That finally got you. So Rue, if you want to pick somebody else, oh, she picked Carla. So Carla, you have to thank Rue. Carla, let me know what question you have, and thank you, Rue, for doing that. I just do that to make it fair for everybody, because there will be literally people that sometimes come in here and they will guess like all three, and it's like crazy. Anyone else not read Harry Potter? Yeah, I think that's like, if you're a millennial or younger, if you don't read Harry Potter, it's like a sin. That horse. wait, what's the difference between a minotaur and a centaur? Anyway, I was going to tell you guys my story about a Sasquatch. So this guy, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but this guy on Instagram messaged me, and he was just like, he sent me 2 lines. The first line was something like, I think we could do something really cool together. And then he said, Google my name. It's like, that's not creepy. That's a great introduction. And I looked at his profile, and he was a producer, like a film producer. And I was like, oh, okay. He probably is like interested in doing some sort of show with me, which I've gotten a few requests before, but I'm going to be very picky about stuff like that because I'm a filmmaker myself. And I also want any content that I do to be good and accurate and not like sensationalistic because I know how paranormal shows can go. But I Googled him, and all he had done were TV shows about Sasquatches and like Sasquatch hunting, which I don't know, pushing it a little bit for me on the far-fetchedness. But I was like, yeah, I don't think that the person that I'm going to be doing a show with should be in this field. I don't know. One is smaller. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, bull and horse. Oh, thank you, Lauryn. Bull. Oh, I guess that makes sense. All right. You're welcome. You have to. Thank you, Root. Let's see. Which deck do I want to use? Any general messages for me? They want me to pull all the tarot. Okay. Lots of fairy energy tonight. Ouch. Bumped my elbow. This is kind of like an oddly specific message. So for Carla, I pulled this card again. And I feel like this was you wronged in the past. Like you did something, something was done to you that wasn't okay. And I pulled the Justice card. And to me, I feel like this is like karma. Like whatever energy you're putting out towards other people, you get it back in return. But I feel like this is the other person. I feel like whoever like wronged you in the past is sort of getting that justice turned around. I feel like this is somebody like you don't even know anymore. Like it's been a really long time. Or maybe it hasn't, but it just feels like they're trying to say, like, just know that that thing that they hurt you for, they're, like, currently right now, like, very specifically right now, they're going through the judgment for that. They're getting that karma back. And how this relates to you now, I feel like you've also, it's almost like an emotional journey that you've been going on. And I'm pulling, there's a little tiger in this water. So you probably can't see it, but I'm hearing Leo season. So this is like right now, very recently. There's been a lot of emotional changes in your life. And the 9 being like almost completion, you're almost there. I feel like this is you leaving this past chapter of your life of being like, you know what? No, I'm not going to accept this type of energy anymore into my life. I'm not going to accept, like, I don't even feel like it's other people related. I feel like it's you just like putting too much energy into things and like wasting your time, wasting your energy, wasting your emotions. And because of that, you're like almost through this. You're at a point where you're like, no more, I'm done with it. I'm more about me. I'm more about my energy and what I demand. I feel like those are like 2 separate messages, but also like fairies coming in big time to help you with this. I feel like the fairies might be exacting your revenge. Like even if it's like on a small level of like they lost their keys and they're not going to be able to find them anymore or something like that. That's kind of funny. I hope that resonates. I kind of like feel like that was like weirdly random, but just seeing if there's anything else. I think that like this emotional cycle that I'm talking about is like this. It's like self-pity. It's like you feeling bad for yourself and being like, oh, life sucks. And I think you're finally over that. You're realizing that doesn't do me any good. That just wastes my time and my energy. I'm done doing that to myself. I love speed reading days. I know today isn't one, but I love them. Side note. Maybe they're... Maybe, Heidi. Maybe it's my calling. And I don't mean to make fun of that. Like, I don't want you guys to think, like, I'm not encouraging people to not believe in it. But when you looked at the shows, it was just kind of like... You're like, oh, it's that kind of show. And there's just, like, not a lot of credibility to it. And it's more that if I ever do a show in the future, it's got to be, like, rooted in credibility, authenticity, integrity. Like, that's my huge thing. Can you learn tarot if you're clairsentient? Absolutely. I use my clairs to read tarot cards because I don't, well, these are oracle cards, but I don't have the tarot decks memorized, and so I read them with my clairs. But you could use any of your clairs to read anything. That's why I always say start with the clairs. That should be your foundation, because then you can read anything. And then if you're confronted with a tool that you don't know how to use, example, I did a flame or a candle burning ritual this last weekend. I don't know how to read flames, but the whole time it was happening, I was talking to my guides and asking, what does that mean? What does that mean? And they would give me information. And I don't, just because you don't know how to use the tool doesn't mean you can't directly connect to your guides and ask them, if that makes sense. I'm off to learn more about red pandas now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny. At least in my opinion. Yes, waste of time. I won't treat people like I was thinking. You're welcome, Carla. I'm glad that it resonated. I felt like that was kind of random. But there's no randomness in whatever spirit wants to say, I guess. Right. I had a relative pass recently. I'm going to just shake off last person's energy. Johnny, I'm immediately seeing them being drawn down and suspended in water. Like immediately after they passed. I'm asking, like, what does this mean? And I'm hearing hibernation. That's kind of cool. And I'll just say, like, when my cousin passed away last year, he was in between worlds, like, when I was connecting with him. Like, his body was still alive, but he was probably spiritually, like, soully gone. Like, his soul was definitely gone and talking to me, even though his body was still alive. And I always thought that, okay, when we pass, we're always moving forward. And I think in some sense the word you are, because I don't think you can go much backwards than this realm, and getting out of this realm and moving forward out of it is always like a positive forward movement. But I feel like this family member is on pause, and I'm asking what that means because I've never seen that before. And the reason why I brought up my cousin was because I never seen what happened to him before, which was he was immediately like brought upwards, and he was like being healed by a bunch of people. And it was almost like they knocked him out. Like, you can't do anything. We are knocking you out. We're making you immobile so we can heal you. And I feel like this is like the same thing, Johnny. I feel like the word hibernation, it doesn't imply that they're stuck. Like, don't think that at all. It's almost like they're waiting. I feel like they're waiting for family to come through. I could be wrong too, Johnny. Because because I don't feel like they're going to be stuck forever. Honestly, they're not stuck. I shouldn't be using that word. Okay. So the hibernation part of it, it felt like they were being drawn into water to have solitude, that they needed to sit with their own feelings and emotions and kind of reassess this whole thing of life that they just went through. And they wanted to do that on their own. It was their choice. And then they could move back. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. So, sorry, Johnny, I'm like figuring this out as I talk, but this person feels like they kind of made like a cocoon of safety for themselves in this next realm. And it's very important to them that they're here kind of working through the past traumas, understanding what they want to do next, understanding like what their life here meant. And, it's almost like a self-evaluation of some sorts, not in the sense of like Christianity of like judgment or any of that, but it's like very much like I want to be alone with my thoughts for a bit. And now what they're doing is they're venturing out a little bit to both worlds, to the spiritual world and then back down here. And they're kind of like poking their head out like a hermit every now and then to come say hi. So if you don't feel like you're connecting with them every now and then, know that that's like they're doing. And it's so interesting because when I ask, are they happy? I don't sense anything like happiness or sadness. It's just like this neutral state. Like there's nothing there. And I think in our minds that might be scary, but this feels like their resting energy, their equilibrium when they're on this other side. And that's what they're trying to get to is like, and it's not that they're not unhappy. I feel like I'm spending more time on this because I want to make sure that you don't think that this person is stuck or unhappy or any of that. It's just so cool because every time I do readings, I feel like they teach me something new. And I feel like that's why my spiritual ideas are always evolving because like I learn new things because I stay open to whatever they show me. Yeah, it feels like they're venturing out every now and then, kind of pulling open the door, poking their head out to kind of explore. But they're totally okay. They're just in like this hermit reclusive mode right now. And it's like this self-evaluation of like life. You just got the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck and it's amazing. Ooh, is that the one I have? I have the Shaman's Oracle. It must be different. Thank you. Oh, I don't know how to say your name. Irhan, let me just catch up on these comments and then I will give you a reading. That's awesome, Yurka. I hope it goes well. It actually makes so much sense. Yeah, silly rabbit. And ever since I had the thing happen with my cousin, I never described that accurately. With my cousin, he would move backwards and forwards as far as like this progression of getting more enlightened or less burdened. And so I always thought, okay, well, a spirit would unburden themselves and they'd be a step further. And then why would they ever go backwards? But that wasn't the case with my cousin. I would constantly see him do this back and forth. And it got to a point one time where he was in this very dense, very dark energy. And I was like, whoa, how did this happen? Like, I thought you're supposed to move forward all the time. And then I realized it was because he was reliving the negativity of how he passed. And he was really connecting with a lot of people earthbound. And he was just in their negativity. And he was not looking out for himself because there was a lot of trauma around his passing. And so I was always kind of actively like working with him to like bring him out of this, talk to him, like get him moving forward. And I forgot to like say that piece. It was that he would go backwards on this, like he would burden himself more. He would tell himself things that wouldn't help him cross over. But I let go of the idea of crossing over as if there's this finite line because I saw it as something that you could go back and forth on, if that makes sense. And I will say that last week he gave me one of the most beautiful dreams ever. We were at this big like outdoor block party, and all of his family and friends were there. It was like people I didn't even know. And they were all telling stories about him and laughing and joking and clapping him on the back. And it was like this big fun party. And I woke up and I was like, what was that all about? And my guides were like, he was like giving himself a party, a celebration of life party. He's being around everyone's energy. And I was like, that's so cool. So I was just saying, I'm mentioning that because I had that amazing dream last week. I feel like these double live nights are just making me way more intuitive too. Oh, sorry. Let me get to you, Iran, because I know you've been waiting. What comes through most that I should know? And you are awesome, by the way. Thank you. What comes through most? You know what? I want these cards. Irhan, life's good. Life's good. Yeah, life's good. I pulled the Magic Stream card, and to me, this is like abundance. Everything in your life is coming to you. You have flow. Everything you need and want, all of those needs and wants are met. Whether you can see them or not, this is about connecting to that magical stream, that stream of abundance in your life. And I feel like you're already doing this. If you feel like you're not quite there, I would focus on learning about abundance and understanding what your idea of abundance is. And it's basically, moving away from lack mentality of saying we don't have what we want or we need. And even in the moments where we legitimately don't have what we want or need, it's about being grateful for what we do have, because that energy of gratitude ends up bringing in that abundance. And I shouldn't even say bringing it in, because the idea of abundance is that it's always there, and it's more about tapping into it. But I think the reason why it's flowing so well right now is because you're really being an observer. Like, this is the flying card, and it's like you're able to come up and look at the situation as a whole. You're very detached from like the outcome. You're very detached from, or not the outcome as much as like how this is supposed to happen. You're very detached from all the minutia, the details of like trying to control it. You're letting the universe come in and help you. And because of that, you're attracting that abundance so much better. And the other thing that you're doing that's helping is you're being super intuitive. So this is the Moonlight card, which is like moon, owl, fairies, like all sort of signs of intuition. And because you're tapping into your intuition, you're able to navigate through all of these things that are coming up. You're able to understand, right now I need to pull away. I need to be an observer. I need to see this from a higher perspective. I need to connect to that abundance that's coming in. So I think your guides are like calling you to just pause right now and notice how well you're doing everything, so that when you fall out of this flow, okay, this is how I get back into it. But yeah, Irhan, this is just awesome confirmation that you are, everything you need and have is met. Anything else? Yeah. Heaviness lifts, burdens cast away, weightlessness. Let me catch up. She lost her son very early and husband a few years ago. This time very right. Oh, no. Oh, interesting, Johnny. That's so interesting. It's kind of cool. On my end, as a medium, not like as a person losing someone. Obviously, that's not cool, but yes, Jennifer, it is. I'm actually going to talk about that in my member-only video that's coming out this week. So if you are part of the member-only group, you get an extra video a month, and that comes out basically on the 15th of every month. And I'm talking about, in the member only video, my childhood experiences, like my psychic experiences. I know I always talk about how I didn't have that many, but I really did. I just wrote them off and I didn't trust them as being real. I didn't have anybody encouraging me to look at them as something more than what they were. And so my video is basically going to be me talking about that and the blocks that it ends up causing later down in life when you're trying to open up your intuition. So I'm talking a little bit about myself, but also talking about just kind of children in general and how we have intuitive things happen to us when we're younger, and then how when we try to open up our intuition, how those old things that we told ourselves, those old blocks can come up and inhibit us from like really connecting. And so one of my stories is totally seeing auras. That was one of the things that I would see around people. And I'm going to talk more about that in that video, but yes, that's exactly like what I saw. It's so funny that you brought it up. It's like white. I didn't see any colors, but I saw this like white outline. The Shaman's Oracle is next on my list. I don't resonate with it too much, Lori. I have almost gotten rid of it a couple times, but I hang on to it because I want some sort of like shamanic deck. I want to find something better, but what would you call that? That is fascinating. Oh, wow, I forgot what I was talking about. If you remind me, I can give it a name. So new mindset. Totally get it. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Everyone's saying thank you. I forget what's going on. Oh, is the white outline supposed to give off some message? Have I done my aura video yet? Yes. Did I record that? I have an aura video coming out. Yeah, no, I recorded that. I mean, yeah, there's going to be an aura video soon. Still a couple weeks out, but I basically film like 4 videos at once, and I always forget what I did. I'm pretty sure I did auras. Yeah, I did auras. But yeah, auras, basically, they can contain colors. They can look like something. They can contain messages within them. They could be symbolic. They could be literal. The colors could be symbolic. They could be literal. They could be associated with chakras. They could be just associated with something you like associate with that color. So red could mean the red chakra, or red could mean something else. It could mean like pain. But yeah, I'm going to go over all of that, like how to see them, how to feel them with all your clairs, not just clairvoyance, because a lot of people really beat themselves up when they try to see auras and they don't, and they think they're bad at it, but really it's just maybe that their clairvoyance isn't as strong. So you can hear, you can ask what is someone's aura, and you can hear the information. Things can get stuck in auras. I'm going to go over all of that in the video. Yay! I know I saw your post. It's a very like basic introduction. It definitely doesn't have like all of her teachings, but I'm kind of on a mission to make sure everything that she taught me gets up in my channel or my courses in some sort of way. But you can see why I love Karen so much. Looking forward to that video. It's basically connecting now with the... Yeah, absolutely, Michael. And that is going to be a member video, so that'll come out on the 15th. You have to be a member to be able to see it. But I will say, if you all, like, I totally get it. If you're tight strapped for money, like, no pressure there. I understand. But something you can always do is you could wait till my videos kind of stockpile up, and then you could pay for a membership and kind of binge watch them all. I probably shouldn't be suggesting that, but for those of you, I do understand, like, being in a tighter money spot. Of course, like, nobody messages me all day, every day. And then as soon as I sit down for lives, it's like everyone decides to text me. I'm distracted by that, but yeah, I am going to have that. I need to record that video tomorrow, and then it's going to be up on the 15th, which is that this Sunday? I didn't like the Shaman's Oracle at first, but now I love it. Oh, yeah. Jennifer, any tips on loving it? Let me know. Silly Rabbit, I feel like that's like the introduction. If you're seeing a white line around somebody, you're honing into it, you're tuning into it, but it's almost like you don't know how to take it further. So it's like confirmation that you are connecting, but it's like knowing the next steps of how to get information off of that. You can give the deck to me. Heck yeah. I'm actually, a side note, my husband plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he's actually starting his own YouTube channel now. So if any of you guys like Dungeons and Dragons, let me know. I can share his YouTube channel. But I know the majority of my followers are females. Not saying that females don't like Dungeons and Dragons, but different target market. But he wants me to make him dice, resin dice. And so I'm trying to learn right now how to work with resin. But I can make molds for all sorts of fun stuff. And when I get good at it, I want to make you guys molds of like pendants and not even pendants, like pendulums. And I want to just do them as like fun little giveaways in some of my lives. Like a couple months probably down the line. I need to get good at like working with resin. We did a pour 2 days ago and they're still gooey. So we did something wrong. They're supposed to harden. I've always been interested in resin, but the workbook I think is in my description. It's definitely in my Amazon storefront, but it's called the Psychic Workbook, and it's made by my mentor, Karen Fox. I totally forgot that I recorded that Aura video. Yeah, it's been a while now, but definitely have that coming. I lost everything after my reading. I don't know if you saw my... Oh, no! Well, you can always rewind, Johnny. Heck yeah. Exactly, Erica. Sometimes you'll rely on one, and you can try to individually hone those other ones, but it's not like a bad thing if you rely on one. I mean, I pretty much solely rely on clairaudience and then clairvoyance because it works for me. But when you're trying to learn, it's good to know, to at least practice them all so that you know when a hit comes through that's different, you know, oh, okay, that's clairgustance really quick, or oh, that's that. The deck just grew on me. Oh, I'm glad. My daughter's boyfriend moderates D&D. Heck yes. Astrodice. Yes, I want to do Astrodice. I want to do pendulums. I want to do Ouija board, like pendants. I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it, so no promises, you guys. They might be total crap, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to give these away. All right, guys, let's go for about another 15 more minutes. So if you guys have donations, if you absolutely want to get a reading in, send in those donations. Otherwise, I'm going to do another guessing game reading really quick. Ooh, no, that's too hard. Yes, doing it. I'm thinking of a ride at Disneyland. If you can think of the ride at Disneyland that I'm thinking of, you get the reading. I'm going to Disneyland in like a month. I'm so excited. I haven't traveled in so long. The last time I traveled was spring 2019, and that's a long time for me. I don't have a lot of money in my life, but what money I do have, I spend on traveling. Oh no! No, you gotta know, Silly Rabbit. You gotta know. There's gotta be some rides. I'm gonna say teacups. The one I'm giving is a pretty... Well, I won't say anything more than that. But yeah, you said own thoughts, clairaudience. That is definitely, I think, one of the harder things to figure out is own thoughts versus clairaudience hits. And again, I don't remember what video I talked about, but it's really about practice. It's really about... It's really practice, unfortunately. That's like the answer nobody wants to hear, but I forfeit. All right, We're doing a guessing game. If you can guess the Disneyland ride that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. It's not Teacups. It's not Matterhorn, not Splash Mountain, not Small World. I'm so torn up over what ride do I take my son on first. Which one is it gonna be? Peter Pan? Carousel? I don't know. Dumbo? Magic Mountain. I mean, you could Google it. Has nobody been to Disneyland? Is this too obscure? Okay, I'll give you a massive hint. They turned this ride into a movie very recently. And that's why I feel like you guys should know this one. Ooh, good guess, Karen. They did turn that into a movie. I haven't been for 40 years. Thank you, Christopher. Jungle Cruise. Jana, you got it. Jana, let me know what your question is. They just did the Jungle Cruise movie, so that's why I figured maybe you guys would at least see the the ads for that. See, I watched that video. Since watching your video, I ask, is that me or my guides? It's awesome, the response I get. I know, sometimes, Johnny, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as being like, was that my thought or was that an intuitive hit? And sometimes you'll get a feeling and you'll be like, that was totally me. Or another time you'll be like, you'll feel like it's your guides being like, no, that's me. I'm talking to you. But side note, Karen, I know this was just your guess, but Haunted Mansion, the movie with Eddie Murphy, is one of my favorite movies. I know it's kind of a bad movie, but I freaking love that movie. Okay, so Jungle Cruise, Jana, you got it. So never been. See? Jana's never been. She got it. Jana, let me know in the comments what your question is. Christopher, thank you for your donation, Christopher. Did you want a reading? Happy to give you one. Let me know if you have a question, and whoever comes in first, I'll just adore. You guys, you need to go to Disneyland or Disney World. I know some of you guys are halfway across the world, but Inside Out, Jungle Cruise. Can you see the moon out of your window? I don't think I can. It must be on the opposite side of me. I mean, there's probably not much of a moon to see, right? We just had a new moon. Same. I think Eddie Murphy in that movie is just hilarious. Yes, Eddie Murphy is a gem. The fact that they just let him what's the word? Improvise, and they kept it in the film, that just makes it amazing. You used to work at Disneyland? Karen, what did you do? Karen, can I be your best friend? Thank you, Carla. I've been going to the parks literally since I was 1 year old. It's just a family thing. I love it. It's definitely that inner child in me that I just always have to feed because it helps my imagination. It helps me connect to that inner child. And that is Disney for me. I have a big tattoo of Peter Pan on my back. But yeah, we're doing Disneyland in a month, but we're just doing a day trip. We are doing Disney World, though, next April. And we're going for a week, and we're doing it big. Doing the portraits in New Orleans. The cutouts, Karen? That's so cool. That's so cool, Karen. I love that. Okay. Just throwing it out one last time for Christopher. Let me know if you have a question. I'm going to read Jana really quick. And I've got probably 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes. I'm going to wrap up at 9. Ooh. That's a great question. Do my guides have a certain way they like to communicate with me? Signs. I love that. question for everyone to ask. Either ask your guides and expect to get an answer with your clairs, or if you're struggling, pull out some tarot cards and ask that same question. Because we obviously have a certain way we like to connect with our guides. I feel like for you, this is kind of cool. Jana, this is education. So I feel like it's like you're doing research. Like you might be reading a book, you might be watching a video or doing like a course or something. And it's almost like they're leading you to those things because there's words in there or there's some information that you need to know. And so it's like when you actively are trying to learn something, that's how they're connecting with you. And maybe that's because that's like the easiest way for them to just like get something across is like through someone else's written word, or someone else teaching. And I feel like that's just because maybe you're learning how to connect to your intuition. And I could be wrong, but it just kind of feels like you're a beginner, you're learning, so you're maybe not trusting your own psychic senses yet. And so that's kind of like how they're sending you information right now. This is cool. I'm gonna do this card for myself after we're done because I'm very curious what this would turn out for me. So this card is like experiences and people in your life, like the things that happen around you. And so I feel like maybe they'll communicate like in a lesson that you learned about like going through an experience, or even when you have moments in your life that are tough and you're reaching out to them, it's sort of like you looking back and being like, oh, this experience with this person, man, I remembered that my guides like sent me this message loud and clear. And I feel like that's kind of another thing that happens too. Sometimes when we're learning to use our intuition, we are only connecting ever so often. And sometimes one of the places we do connect often is like when we really need help. Sometimes you can hear that information. You can hear my voice getting deeper already. And then this one, Jana, balancing act, I feel like this is like what might hinder you. It's when life isn't balanced, when you're not balancing the intuitive side with your analytical day-to-day life. And so when you're like living more here on this earth, like your day-to-day stuff, and you're not paying attention to your intuition as much, you're not picking up signs as much. So they're just saying like, if you want that to happen more, have more of that balancing act between the two. And if you're new here, I feel like I haven't seen your name, but maybe you have been. Maybe check out the left versus right brain video that I made. Oh yeah, I probably won't see the moon through the smoke. I'll have to look. Is that a good question? Do you wear the hat, Lauryn? What hat? What? Did I miss something? I feel like I'm always missing something. What hat? I'm probably moving away from Colorado and I don't want to go. Oh no! I'll just pull a card for... Oh, you did ask a question. Is it a good choice to move? I feel like, Christopher, intuitively, before I'm even pulling these cards, it's like a forced choice that sucks right now and you don't have control over it, but you're going to turn it into something better. Yeah. Because you're feeling stuck about this situation. Like, I'm getting like, there's nothing you can really do about it. I feel like this is like outside influences. And so while you're waiting, and while you're moving and when you're transitioning into this new phase, take care of yourself. This is the sacred pool. This is about like self-care. And if you're taking care of yourself and your needs, and you're connecting with your intuition and like what your purpose is, your compass, then you're going to navigate through this a lot better. And so your compass, this is like the theme of this deck. It's like, what are your intentions? Are your intentions, my life sucks, I hate this? Because if that's the case, then you're going to attract more of those thoughts and more of those, not even thoughts, just like outward experiences things that happen because of those inner thoughts, if that makes sense. So instead, if you're putting out good affirmations, if you're putting out the affirmation of, or this isn't even affirmation, it's like, what's the end goal? What is we point the compass north. We point it to the North Star. And the North Star is like where we want to be. So where do you want to be in life? Even though you can't control this move, it's like, I want to be in a place that I can afford, that is secluded from other people, that makes me happy, or something like that. And if you set your intention on that and you let go of like how it's going to happen, you let go of the things that are in this life or in the moment that are hindering that, or at least you think are hindering that. And like, I just feel like I'm not describing this well. It's like, I see the end goal, but I'm not going to worry about the path to get there. And as long as you hold your compass, you hold your intention of what you do want, your guides will get you there. It might not be in the way that you expect. And so it's like with this move, yep, it sucks. It's something you can't control. But once you get there, don't stay in a place of, oh, I hate this place. I have no control over being here. I can't change this. Really want to readjust in the energy and be like, no, I'm going to adjust to this. I might only be here for a little bit. I don't know. But this is my intention. This is what I want. Guides, show me how I can get here. And that should be your compass, like where you're pointing. So then you'll pay attention to the signs. And then maybe you'll find that the place that you're moving into, all it needs is like some renovations and you're actually happy there. Or maybe you move like a couple neighborhoods over or something like that. Like, you're never going backwards. You're always moving forwards in some sense of the word. You'll always get to the place that you're supposed to be. I hope that makes sense, Christopher. Disney World is so huge. I love it. Oh, is that what you meant, Silly Rabbit? Like the Mickey ears? Heck yes. I've got one over here. It's got my embroidered Mickey ear hat, and I also have ears that I got from Tokyo because I went to Tokyo Disney when we were there. I couldn't not do that, but I got some really cute bow ears when I was there. You went for your 21st birthday? Nice. That's the kind of 21st birthday I want to have. Not the silhouettes, the charcoal portraits. Why do I feel like I haven't seen those? That's awesome, though. That's so cool, Karen. I love that. Yeah, the Musketeer hat. I would totally get it down for you guys, but it's up really high. And I'm like, do I waste my money getting my son his own Mickey hat that's embroidered that will probably not fit him in like 2 years? And I'm like, I need to not. You guys are funny. Heck yes, I will also go to Universal because Harry Potter. And I really want to ride the new dinosaur ride. What is that called? The Velocicoaster. Oh, I'm so excited for that one. I'm actually like a huge theme park person. Like, that is like my idea of a fun day. Like, end of the day, your legs hurt, your feet hurt. But the next morning, you can still wake up at 5 a.m. and be jazzed to wake up. I love the food. Never mind the rides. I know what you need. Your son needs one. I want to buy him like everything there. I need to bring it back a level. Six Flags in Texas. Oh, yeah, I haven't done that one. I know that there's a Magic Mountain in California that's also supposed to be really good. Hey, everyone. I'm about to jump off. I'm just going to kind of like wind down here with you guys, but thank you for joining me tonight. Just a few housekeeping things. This Friday, we're going to have a basic psychic protection video. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Silly Rabbit. I'll get to you in a second. Memberships, again, you guys have new perks, 99-cent levels. I won't keep repeating it after this video. I'll put it up in a text. But 99-cent videos, you guys are going to get the chance to get a free reading on our live nights. Member-only live membership levels, you guys are going to get monthly card readings shared through that community page. And member-only videos, you guys are going to get the chance to win a 15-minute emailed audio reading from me. And so, again, member-only people, you get all of those things access to. So, yeah. And again, I will be on Friday. So we're doing 2 live nights a week. So I'll see you guys again this Friday. And then please, if you guys enjoy my readings, if you enjoy my channel, if you just like my energy and you want to leave a review, please do so on my Google page. I finally have like a Google business page, and I want to get my reviews kind of moved over to there. I've had them on Facebook, but not a lot of people are on Facebook. Some people are, but I would greatly appreciate that. I have that linked in the description, and I will also put that in the comments once this video is like wrapped up. But let me get to Silly Rabbit really quick. This will be our last one of the night. Yes, Friday the 13th. Excited. There might be a slight chance that I might do Thursday instead of Friday, but it's a very small chance. I really want to go to this class that is Friday night at this local metaphysical store, but I don't know if I have the extra money to do it this week. Unfortunately, I had a bunch of unexpected costs. I needed to buy diapers and cat food and dog food, and it just kind of like sucked me dry for the week. But thank you guys. Let me do Silly Rabbit really quick. My chiropractor asked me to be his therapist. It was an unexpected request, but an interesting. I'm getting weird vibes about that, Silly Rabbit. Is that intuitive? Yes. I'm getting weird vibes about that. Not because I think like he's a creepy dude, but I feel like it just like might make your relationship weird and awkward. Like the exchange of services, like I feel like there would be a lot of boundaries crossed. Like he would start like requesting you to be your therapist, to be his therapist, like while you're in a reading, or sorry, while you're in a session with him. Let me pull some cards. And then I feel like if you're like, all right, I don't want to be his therapist anymore, then you're going to have to go somewhere else to be, to get your sorry, I'm getting it all mixed up. You'll have to go somewhere else to get your chiropractor. Oh. If you do it, Silly Rabbit, I feel like it's just going to be short-lived, unfortunately. And I feel like you're going to put in a lot of work, a lot more work than you plan to, because you feel like you have to give him more for some reason. Maybe he like, I don't know. It's just like it causes like a weird dynamic that makes things like harder. Yeah. Nah, I don't like it. Silly Rabbit. And I think you can just like say something nice like, oh, I'm busy, or I have too many clients right now, or I don't know. I mean, trust your gut with it. Like if what I say totally like resonates the opposite way and you're just like, no, I'm not feeling that. Trust your gut. Because I do feel like the interesting opportunity part of it is good. Like I feel like there is like, if you follow that path, there's something else that it leads to, like career-wise. Like maybe it's just a referral to somebody else. Maybe you just do like a session with him. I don't know. The boundaries get weird though. That's what I'm feeling. Thank you guys. Hope my review's on the right Google. I know. So I felt so bad. I sent out the Google reviews on my most recent newsletter, and it was totally wrong. It went to my other business, my production company that I make commercials and videos for people here in Colorado. And so poor Eureka gave me a review over there, and I was like, oh crap, Eureka, I'm sorry, can you take it out? So I had to fix it, but we got it fixed. Let's see. By when do I start? I mean, timeline. I go to the Crystal Dragon in Boulder. Ooh, I haven't even heard of that one, Christopher. I'll have to check that out when I'm up there. If you did start, I feel like it's like pretty right away, Silly Rabbit. Hey, Jada, I'm actually wrapping it up. Normally, they are a combo of free and donation. So if somebody donates, I will put them first. But then if we catch up on donations, we do free readings. But I'm wrapping it up for tonight. I will be back live on Friday. So if you hit that subscribe button, I will be here Friday and next Tuesday. So hopefully you can catch me next time. I know that there's quite a group of people in here. My guides are telling me to pull one card for everybody in here, so I will do that if you want to stick around here in a second. I'll do kind of like a second group reading. Silly Rabbit, I don't feel like it's like, because my analytical mind was like, oh, is this like going to turn into something like weird, like sexually or like, you know what I mean. But I don't feel like it's that so much as like he didn't quite think about like, I think he was feeling like connected to you in that moment, and he's like looking for somebody, and then just like probably like overstepped it a little bit. I think Johnny's like on the same page. Well, and maybe Silly Rabbit, the inspiring career idea is all that it was supposed to be. Maybe he was supposed to kind of like put that in your mind. And maybe you can follow that in a different way. Empath problems. All right, so let's do a group reading. So what I want you guys all to do is kind of like send out your message, send out your question, something that you want to know to the universe. You can send it to me, you can send it to the universe, ask your question. Give you a few seconds to do that. And release that question. The universe has heard. And now what I want you guys to do, they told me to do another pick a card, is choose a pile, 1, 2, or 3. One of these piles is going to answer your question. 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to go through each pile just really quick. I'm just testing this out because I'm curious if it causes more problems or if it creates better readings. I don't know. You can type, Jada. You guys can throw your questions up. You don't have to. You can. Sometimes people do that to like further like feel like they've released the question and it's off of their hands. You know what I mean? Okay. So pile 1, 2, 3. If you need to pause, feel which one you're being drawn to. I'm texting my husband because my dog is going nuts. Alrighty. All right. Okay. So pile number 1. Ooh. You guys have the strength to do this. You have everything you need to overcome this within yourself. Or if your answer is like, what do I do? It's like finding your inner strength. And I pulled on the masculine in reverse, and I sort of sometimes read my reverse cards as very much so like opposites. And so I feel like this is leaning more towards your feminine side. And when I think of feminine side, I think of like your intuitive side, your receiving side. So receiving the messages, receiving the answers, receiving the, what word are they using? It's funny because when I feel like intuitive information is like being delivered to me, but it's almost there, I feel like it's this garbled like noise that's kind of far away, like blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like trying to like pull it in a little bit. And so like I can hear them saying a word, but I can't. It's like almost there. It's like when it's the same version of like something being on the tip of your tongue. What was I saying? It's the opposite of masculine energy. It's feminine energy. It's receiving. It's about asking for guidance, asking for the way in which to go, and understanding that you have the strength to do it yourself. So maybe some of you are looking outside of yourself, or like, you feel like you need somebody else or something else to move forward or to get answers on this. But this is knowing that you have the inner strength to do this. And I feel like this is only like giving some of you guys the answers. So I just pulled another card just for clarification. So being stuck in the mud. This is how you get out. You don't need anybody to help you get out. If you think you are stuck, that is your own. You are never stuck. That's what my life coach would always say to me. You can get out of that. You can always move past that. It's all up here. It's like mental strength and mental capacity to see beyond, and using your intuition to really navigate like how you should be doing something next. Doggo wants inside still. And that's the thing too, is if something resonates in another pile, take the message. It's totally okay. There might be something in each pile that resonates with you, and that's kind of the great thing about pick a card readings is whenever I listen to them, sometimes I hear my guides be like 3 first and then go to like number 4 and do it in that order. And I always feel like the energy of like 4 doesn't quite resonate as much, but there's something in there that we want you to hear. Okay, so pile number 2. I don't know what your questions are. Wizard of Awareness. So they're all very like intuition based, but Wizard of Awareness, it's like you're this all-knowing wizard. You are your own mentor. I feel like that's like almost the same message. How is this different? It's about unlocking what you already know. I think the previous cards were more about like finding the inner strength to push past your mental obstacles, whereas this card is you already know how to handle something. You've done it before in this life, and it's just reminding yourself of that fact. Let me come back to this, because the second card that I pulled, falling in love, and I feel like this is with yourself, and I feel like this is doing things that make you happy, doing things that light you up. Because when I think of loving yourself, I think of giving yourself the things that you need. That could be on a very basic level of just like making sure you eat right and get sleep and just take care of yourself in that way. But it's also about like giving yourself things that make you happy, like even like going out and getting a coffee in the morning or getting your nails done. Giving yourself that kind of love is going to help with your question, with the situation that you have. And there's something about being in this zone of giving yourself that connects you with your intuition. That's interesting. And it makes sense, because like when we have blocks to our psychic ability that are related to not taking care of ourselves, like when you don't take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, I talk about this in my basic psychic course, you can just cause blocks because you're too tired to read, or you're too, you feel too sick, and you can't differentiate your feelings versus somebody else's because you're so much in your own crap, if that makes sense. But something about giving yourself time, attention, and love is going to clear your intuition, make you open up to what you already know, and you're just going to be like, you're going to have this aha moment of how to handle this, how to move forward on it. This is interesting because I feel like they're not necessarily giving you answers on like your questions themselves. It's more like, how can you find the answer yourself? I kind of love that. Okay, pile number 3. Home in reverse. Ooh, reclaiming your authenticity. This is interesting. I feel like all of these cards are sort of related, and that's because it's group energy. That makes sense. Like the energy of the group, why people are here, why you guys popped in tonight versus another night, and why some people are not here. Everyone in the group is here for a reason, and because of that, we share similar energy, similar messages that we need to hear, and I think that's why we're seeing a theme between all 3 of these piles right now. But right now, home life could use some more loving and care, and this is like, at the end of the day, do you enjoy where you're at? Do you enjoy coming home? Do you have a place that you can really connect to your roots, connect to your self-care? I'm being drawn to your root chakra of just like, do you feel safe and stable? And is home somewhere that you love, or is it someplace that makes you uneasy, or maybe you just don't feel like it's home. Maybe you feel like it's a temporary place that you're just living. And the answer, how we can kind of, how we can sort of move forward into changing this energy of our home life. And it might not be your actual physical home. It could be about feeling at home in your skin. Like this is the Selkie and her skin. It could also be about just feeling at home around the relationships and the people in your home. And the fact that this is reclaiming your authenticity, I just feel like this is just boundaries. Like you guys have given up a lot of your boundaries around like your self-care and what you want out of life. And at the basic level, again, it could be like getting enough sleep, making sure that you clean up your house. Sometimes like that actually affects your energy a lot. But I think for a lot of you guys, reclaiming your authenticity is very much like a mental thing. And when you can do that, I feel like it's like start wherever you're feeling called, and it's going to affect the other. So you could start with kind of this reclaiming your authentic self, and then it'll start to affect your home life and make you feel more at home because you'll know how to fix these things and make things better. Or you can start with the home life and really make sure that at the end of the day, you're coming home to a place that you love and that you really just feel connected with it. And then because you're constantly in this energy of like feeling at home in your home, it's going to affect you in feeling at home in your skin. And whatever this means in relation to your question, like the first figuring out what it is that you need to like make that happen, whatever your question was. This is like first step, part of the answer. Hey, it's V Cookie. Oh, it's you. Oh, you just changed your like thing. Good to see ya. I felt the dog was gonna come. You guys are welcome. That's kind of cool. I like doing the piles. Do you guys, should I keep doing that, or is it easier when I just do one? You went on a first date tonight? That's awesome, JJ. Thanks for sharing. Hello, Ishika. I'm good. How are you? Yes, it's where you can rest and rediscover what nourishes you. If your home energy isn't right, it's hard to know who you are. Absolutely. I love that. I think so, Yurika. Absolutely, Silly Rabbit. And if you guys want to connect too on Facebook, I do have a Facebook group. And a lot of you guys that are in here are there too. So if you want to like not be sharing Instagram or like not share, I mean, I'll let you guys share that up to your discretion. But know that I also have a Facebook group. And that's a lot about like practice and stuff. But we can also just use it as a place to hang out. Like today I asked in the group, like, how do you see time when you do readings? Like if you're asking a timing question, like how do your guides show you time? And I think it's curious some of the answers, because like when I see time in my head, I almost see like a calendar and it like flips through the pages and then it lands on like the month, and then I hear whatever month it is. And so like that's how timing shows up for me. And so we have conversations like that. And I think like people share readings that they've done and they ask for like other opinions. So know that that absolutely is there if you want to kind of connect with more like-minded people. That's something I definitely want to create, because that was the great thing about me learning in person, was I had that in person and I wanted to keep that going. And if it has to be online, so be it. But obviously my Colorado crew, and if I do travel, I'll let you guys know and we can meet in person. But online is a fantastic tool for creating a group, for sure. Please keep doing the piles for group readings, okay? Yes, okay with me. So yeah, heck yeah, if anyone wants to share, throw up your Instagram. Can you send me a link to Facebook and Insta? Let me just pull that up really quick. So if you, in the description of every single one of my videos, I think I have like something called my links, and it's like a link tree, but I have everything in there. So I'm sharing that right now. But there is a link to the Facebook group, my Instagram, everything that I possibly have, even my Amazon storefront, on my link tree. So if you're ever trying to find something, go to my link tree. It's in every description of every video. Yes, Mads. I'm glad you guys like it. I do have another pick a card reading coming up. It won't be released till like September because I schedule out all my videos. I'm trying to evenly space them out, but there is another one coming up. Home is where our stories begin. Oh, I love that. You did, Silly Rabbit? And I apologize if I don't, like, if you guys are on multiple accounts and I don't recognize you, because if you don't have, like, the exact same handle, I probably am just like, what? I don't know who these people are. So you might have to tell me, and I'll try to remember, but there's a lot of you. It's hard to remember. I know at some point I need to let go of, like, trying to memorize everyone's names because it's just going to be impossible, but I'll try my best while I can. Oh, that's so cute, Carla. I shall feel the vibes before I add. Is the next pick a card video about our psychic blocks? Yes, it is. So I did, what are your psychic blocks right now? And I think I did 4 piles. And I feel like it's like infinitely better, like at least 4 times better than that first one that I did. Because I got all the kinks out of the way and I figured out how to do it. That first one I knew was just going to be, it's the first one. You don't know how it's going to work. But it was so cool because when I was doing that pick a card reading, like I have my camera like hanging above it, right? And I said the whole thing of like, okay, pick a pile, like meditate with it. And like, I'll give you guys a few moments to like pick a card. And it was so bizarre. I felt all of your guys' energy, like future energy of you guys watching it, Like I felt your energy reaching down out of the camera towards the piles. And I think I even said it in the video. I was like, whoa, that was weird. But it's like, it's cool that you could technically connect to a future. I mean, it makes sense. Like I can pre-record a video and it definitely resonate later on. And I think it just goes to show, like, in this world, timing has a very different concept. But I could feel you guys. It was so weird. It was so weird, but so cool. I'd be hiding. Now I want to know. You started following me, Lauryn, and then unfollowed me. Oh, Carla, just know it's nothing personal. I do this method on Instagram to try to get more followers and more people to see me. And it's basically like follow 30 people, unfollow 30 people, follow 30 people, unfollow people. I know I need to stop doing that because I'm worried people will take it personally, but shoot me a message. I'll follow you back. Just know that I don't actually look at anybody else's account. And the reason for that is because if you guys ever reach out to me for a reading, I don't want to know anything about like your personal life so that it would like influence my reading. But yeah. As a therapist, I try to be as private as I can. Oh, I totally understand that, silly rabbit. That's like the only hard part about this. Like putting myself out there is like making sure that I'm also being like safe and private. And I've talked to you guys several times about stories of people finding my home address and sending me mail and how that scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I make sure that you can't find my last name. You can't find my address. You can't find hopefully where I work. It's definitely internet safety is a thing, unfortunately. I'm picking number 3 for my next pick a card. Nice. Yeah, please don't, Carla. Maybe I should stop doing that. I feel so guilty, but it's helped me grow my followers and meet a lot of new people through it. Yurika, no, surprisingly. The pick a card readings performed probably just as well as some of my other videos, but it didn't like skyrocket, which is sort of like what I expected to happen. I thought it would just like shoot through the roof, but it totally didn't. And I think that's because of the saturation of how many pick a card readings there are on the internet. So I have a lot of other people to beat out, and some people will make like daily pick a card readings. It's crazy. So I think that's the reason why. I think I need to have a little bit more subscribers, and I think I need to have more suggested videos and just kind of like the credibility in order for me to even pop up in other people's feed. But it's kind of cool because I'm going on a YouTube rant here. I love YouTube analytics, and I love just like getting into it and like looking at everything. And sometimes I'll look at it a little too much and analyze it too much, but it's cool because YouTube works very oddly. It's a very, what's the word? Like it's a compounding, like your views compound. So you can have a video that was up for a year, not getting any views, and then all of a sudden a few people start to watch it and a few more people start to watch it. And then Google's like, oh, this video is interesting, we're going to boost it. And then just like a ton of people watch it. And so over time, your views get a lot more. And so when you start with YouTube, like you just get nothing. You get no views. What was my point? Oh, that some of my videos are having that happen. I made a video like a year ago about how to find lost objects. Didn't do that well when it came out at all. But now it's like for some reason like shooting up into some of my top videos. And I think it's purely because enough people finally started to watch it, and then it started to kind of slowly rank up. And then once it hit like this mile marker of the YouTube algorithm, YouTube's like, oh, this is important all of a sudden. Let's boost it. And so now I have a ton of people finding me through that video, which is interesting. Yes, still open to graphic designers. Yeah, I think it's purely saturation. My rabbit is fat. Chubby but fierce. Oh yeah, consistency is so key. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part with YouTube. And I mean, basically up until 2019, I wasn't consistent. And then if you've seen my most recent video where I talked about like how much money I make and like my marketing strategies and my tips, if you want to become like an intuitive worker and market yourself online, that video, I really dived into this. So if any of you are new and really like want to learn more about this, check out that video. But you could see in 2019, my analytics just shot through the roof because that's when I started finally getting consistent about Friday videos and then Tuesday lives. You know, back then it might have been another day, but unfortunately platforms favor consistency. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Basically, you know, in their mind, why would they push somebody who's inconsistent? If we know this person is always going to post something every single week, we're going to, you know, push this person out because they're constantly supplying us content, if that makes sense. But if a video doesn't do well at the time of posting, absolutely. And I have a perfect example of this. So my father-in-law is also a YouTuber now. It's so cool. And he does travel videos. And he put up a video about how to make a mojito at like he went to Cuba, and was it Cuba? He went to somewhere in Central America and had them show how to make a real traditional mojito. And it was so cool because he had that video up. I think it sat for like 2 years, no views. And then same thing, it started to build up and it just skyrocketed. And it's still his like #1 most popular video. He made like $2,000 off of that video 1 month this year. It's just like crazy how that can work. But same thing, like sat forever and then just for some reason became super popular. I could talk about YouTube all day. I love getting into like the analytics of it. Yes, so my automatic writing is my most popular video right now. And I think that's just because it's searched a lot. And I think also my thumbnail and just the title of it it was a good combo. And so a lot of people find me through automatic writing. You did say that. V Cookie, Nini 27. I'll try to remember. But yeah, the automatic writing one is definitely more popular. Oh, I know, Yurka. Like, I think that's why my husband is jumping on it, is he's seeing how his dad is like totally making like a couple grand a month. He's got like 70,000 followers right now. I've only got not even 3 yet, but I'm starting to like, I'm not making a whole lot of money on YouTube, but it's starting to affect like my sales and other areas, like just the combined, income avenues are all just like adding up into something bigger for me. And so I think my husband is like, ooh. And so he's like, I'm going to start a D&D channel. And he watches a ton of YouTube D&D channels as well. So he kind of knows the ins and outs of that. Let's see. If we're talking about pets, I have baby snails. Oh, that's so cute. Also, I don't know what Carla's talking about. I never had a rabbit, but I had a chinchilla once. I've had snakes. I've had lizards, cats, dogs, and a chinchilla. That's my extent. Automatic writing videos, how I discovered you. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of you found me through that. Your thumbnails are always aesthetically pleasing. Oh, good to know. I worry that I cram too much in them and sometimes they're too busy, or that I make like the text too small. I found you from taking salt baths. I'm curious what video you were watching while taking a salt bath. Oh, I love bunnies. I'm not doing rodents again. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing rodents or reptiles again. They're just reptiles. too much money in like food and feeding and all the intricacies of what they need, like the heat lamps and the crickets. Oh my gosh, it's just a mess. And then bunnies, chinchillas, like, ugh, same thing. I also feel guilty like keeping animals in such tight cages, but yes, you totally can. Yurka, it's Living Overseas TV. It's the content, I don't know. It's kind of aimed at older people, and it's very inconsistent content, which, I mean, he doesn't post on a weekly basis, and he makes all of that money, which to me just gives me faith that, I'm more consistent than he is, so maybe I can make even more than he did. Did you make that video? I hope that was you. No, I didn't. But that's okay. I'll pretend like I did to take the credit. Just kidding. Lauryn needs a WAP. Yes, D&D is awesome. Well, when he starts his channel, I'll let you guys know. Because he could use followers. Because again, like that first couple of years, it's always rough. And I want him to get monetized as fast as he can. But he's going to do all live stream D&Ds. So I think because he's doing live streams, I think that's going to extra help. What did you name your chinchilla? Guess. Guess what I named my chinchilla? Psychic Game. Oh, yeah, Yurika's right. I do talk about salt baths every now and then. Because it's like a way of like grounding or clearing your energy. So it definitely could have been that I talked about it. Oh, no. I did the chinchilla. I don't need a rabbit. Thank you guys, though. I'll stick to my dogs and cats. You're breeding leopard geckos. Ah, cute. I used to have a dwarf bearded dragon, and that thing was the most adorable thing ever. Lavender basil. Yeah. Don't feel like you have to stay there, Yurika. Like, his content is a little all over the place, but oh yeah, he's gonna do multiple platforms. He's gonna do like Twitch simultaneously. He's figured out like, is it OBS Studio that like lets you do like several platforms? But Silly Rabbit, you got it. It was Mickey. Oh my gosh, Mickey. I feel like I should give you guys points when you guess things. No, like defeats the purpose. Because then you'd compare if you didn't get it right and you didn't have points. Yes, oh yes. It was Mickey. Yeah, totally. I mean, if you know me and my Disney, it's like, wow. All right, Lauryn. Gasp. Well, and if you know my two cats' names, I named my first cat that I own, like, he was like my cat, who we still have him. He's Mufasa. And then our second cat, Sarabi. Our dog, we finally deviated from Disney names. His name's Ash, but nice, Silly Rabbit. You might have, Carla. I mean, I've definitely talked about it before in several videos. I impressed myself. I know. Isn't that right? Isn't that fun? Alrighty, you guys. Let's see. I love hanging out with you guys and chatting with you when I'm done with the readings. I think that's like my favorite part. Not Ash from Pokemon, even though my husband really liked it for that reason. I think we named him, it was because of his coloring. He's a white husky, but he's gray. And when we got him, we thought he was going to be an all-white husky, because when he was a puppy, he was like all white. But then as he got older, he just kind of developed like gray markings. So we call him Ash for his like coloring. But yeah, my husband will be like, oh, totally, yeah, Pokemon. All right, you guys. Thank you again. If you want to join that Facebook group, it's in those links. Leave me a Google review if you want to. I'd super appreciate it. And then what else? Yeah. I feel feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I always have to do this in case somebody watches replay and somebody's new. I feel guilty doing all of these spiels, but sometimes it's so helpful because even when I jump on other readers' lives and they don't say, hey, this is when I'm going to be live next, it's like, how would I know when they're going to be on? So just in case they go to the end or go to the beginning, got to do this. I'll be on again Friday and next Tuesday. Again, guys, remember you can reach out to me anytime for readings through my website. Also have video courses on how to strengthen your psychic abilities. You can start on my YouTube channel. I have a ton of content there. And then don't forget I have memberships. So memberships will get you access to member-only lives as well as member-only videos. And then this week we're going to have a new video up on basic psychic protection. And I realized I needed that a long time ago. It's basically going to talk about just like the absolute basics of what you need. And normally I try to reserve some of the things that I teach for my courses, but this is so important because I want you guys to be protected, because I know there will be people that will not buy my courses, that will jump into this and not protect themselves. So to me, this is like going to be like one of the most essential videos. You have to know how to protect yourself if you're going to do this work. And at the very least, you should always be doing that. So that's going to come out Friday. And then for you member-only video people, you're going to get your member-only video on the 15th. I think that's Sunday. And that's going to be about like my psychic experiences as a kid and kind of how those formed blocks in my mind with my intuitive ability. And I'm just kind of sort of in general talk about like kids and, what I could have used instead of like what I got around my psychic abilities and learning how to hone those. And I think it'll end up leading to a bigger discussion, especially as I raise my son. And Yurka like asked me about this recently of how are you going to raise your son and like teach him about his psychic abilities? And I definitely need to do that carefully because kids are more intuitive, they could take it way further and be way more open and way less protected. And so I'm going to sort of start that discussion. I'm definitely going to end up making a video of that later down the line with my son. He needs to be a little bit older so he can like talk and like, I don't know. I probably won't necessarily put him on camera, but it's like I need to get his input and see like when he has those scary dreams or when he feels like something's around. And yeah, I know I'm getting on a tangent, but video for many years from now, but maybe not many years. I don't know when kids can start talking. Like 3, probably 2, 3. I don't know. That's awesome, Silly Rabbit. Good night. Thank you guys for joining, especially you new folks out there. I would love a spiel. This is my first stream. I kind of half-assed that one, but you can always rewind it to the beginning or watch like any other the ones I've done. Good night, Carla. I have no clue how to spell spiel. I don't know either. How do you spell that? Thank you, Johnny. How do you know the exact video I need at the exact time? I know, that's so crazy. That's how I feel about everybody else's. Like, I watch Chloe Taylor, I watch Gem Goddess, some other psychics, and it's just like, that's exactly what I needed. And I think that's just making sure that as a psychic, before you do something like this, you don't come on and just be like, oh, what do I want to talk about? You ask your guides, what does the group energy feel like? What do they need to hear? And how should I present tonight's info? And that's kind of like where I come from. I do have an introduction course, Carla. It's called Basic Psychic Skills. I have an animal communication course as well, and more courses planned. I have this whole list in front of me of all the things that I want to create. I just need more time. Hey, Pris. I think that's a good plan, Yurka. And what about lying about Santa? Oh, girl. I'm a Pisces, so I believed in everything. Fairies were real. Santa was real. Tooth Fairy, fucking real. like I believed with my heart and soul. You know, I'm so glad you brought that up because I should talk about that in tomorrow's video. Because I didn't think about those being like psychic experiences at all, but those definitely caused some blocks for sure. But I believed so much that those were real. Even Peter Pan. I talked about that last week about how I always felt like Peter Pan was a guide. He might not actually be Peter Pan, but he's got very similar energy. What was I saying? Look what Santa brought you. I'm feeling guilty. I know, and I don't know how I'm going to do that with my son. Because I don't want to, like, I feel like this whole, like, don't teach your kids Santa. It's like, they need to have some magic in their lives. But I also am like, yeah, but you're lying to them. Like, oh, I don't know. Thank you, Lori. I hope you stay safe in this air. Spiel. Yes, many H's. Just double up all the letters. Shush peel. They are real. That's an interesting way of looking at it, Yurka. I'm going to have to think about that tonight. I'm so glad I mentioned it because now I can talk about it when I record it tomorrow. Ooh, Cancers and Pisces are supposed to be really good together. Really good, right? I wanted to find a mermaid. That's one of the psychic experiences that I had. I was such a little fish. Like, I would swim all the time. My grandparents had a pool. I was very lucky to have very, like, wealthy grandparents, and I would be swimming in their pool constantly. And one of the, I shouldn't give it away, but one of the experiences I had was definitely in a pool, and I think it was mermaids, absolutely, that I was talking to. But I'm currently lying to them. My mom would save my baby teeth. That's funny, silly rabbit. True water signs. That's so awesome. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will see you guys all on Friday. And then if you don't catch me Friday, I'll be back Tuesday very consistently. Tuesday is always kind of my night. So I will see you guys then. Good night. Bye, everybody.